Hi guys, it's Miss Pena again. I hope you guys are ready to make some art. So once again, we need our materials. We need paper filter, primary colors, your markers, and a cup of water. Now you will see Miss Pena is in a t-shirt that I don't really care that much about. This project might get a little messy with the water and the colors, which I know you guys don't have a problem with. And I have a place for them to dry. So I use a bunch of ads that I get in the mail to place my drying coffee filters. So if you have junk mail, those work wonderfully. If you have something like an old towel no one cares about, that would be perfect too. Make sure to ask permission first. Now let's go ahead and jump in to what we were learning a little bit last week about our primary colors. So we have our red, yellow, and blue. So these are the colors that make our secondary colors, and we're going to do a little experiment to make our secondary colors today. Now, what you're going to do with these coffee filters is you are going to only two at a time, because remember, a primary plus a primary makes a secondary color. So go ahead and think to yourselves, what would yellow and blue make? Well, we're going to find out in the experiment today. So I already have one made. Go ahead and color all the way around the coffee filter. Now notice that Miss Pena has left an edge, okay? We're going to not need this edge, but it's more so you're not accidentally coloring on the table. It doesn't have to go to the very edge of the paper, okay? I don't want any marked tables. They're not like our tables in the art room, okay? I'm sure your parents and guardians really care about their furniture. This is our other two primary colors, red and yellow. We're going to find out what secondary color red and yellow make today. I know that my second graders and first graders know this, and some of my kindergartners, hopefully, we touched on it a little bit before the break. So maybe some of you remember. Don't worry if you don't. This experiment's going to do it for my second and first graders. This is just fun. Now I have my two colors, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to gently, I have my glass cup, I have my old ad clippings and stuff like that, my old newspaper right here, and I'm going to fold it in half. Then I'm going to fold it in half again. Now, an easy way to fold it in half is making sure that the corners meet. So, just so you can see my corners, folding it in half again. Okay, now, it's getting a little crazy. We're gonna do it one more time. So, again, my corners are meeting over here. Oops, see that? And I'm going to just pinch them and fold everything closed. Now, I'm going to place it in the water. I'm going to place it in the water. I'm going to pinch the tip right here of my coffee filter fold. You can see those two colors are red, my primary color, and yellow, my other primary color. We're going to do this with all combinations to make our secondary colors. Now, see, once I dip it in there softly, you can see that you can no longer see my pen marks. It is so, here, let me turn up the brightness in here. It is so, look at my water, look at that. I'm going to actually pinch it and pull down. So at the very center, we are going to have our secondary color. So I'm going to gently, actually, this doesn't need to be too strong. I layered the newspaper, afraid it was going to drench through, but really, if I squeeze all the water out like this, so scholars, on our next one, instead of pinching the center, we're actually going to dip it in with this bigger side up. So, and then pinch all the water out. Now once again, in the middle is going to be my secondary color. So I'm going to open this up. Well, I'm getting this really cool tie-dye effect as I'm opening up the coffee filter. And as you can see, my hands are a little stained. That's okay, because I have washable markers, friends. So if you don't have washable markers, I would maybe look around your house for gloves. Oh, so a little bit does drip out. So I would suggest actually putting the newspaper on top of your cup, because when I pull it out, it tends to drip outside of the glass cup. Now, this one is a little faint, but I can see the majority, the main color, the center, looks to be orange. So when I mix my red and my yellow together, what color do I get? Orange. Oh, I miss you guys so much. It's so weird saying that to myself. Orange, exactly. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you guys a quick little drawing technique of when you are actually doing the coffee filter yourself. I'm glad this is washable because I got it on the table. So I have this partially colored coffee filter right here. Let me see if I can get a little closer. There we go. I'm using my laptop. So if you can all see, my two primary colors that I'm using here are blue and red. So I'm going to take my red marker and I'm going to finish drawing my circle now. I just want to show you guys because it's an easy way to fill things in quickly. I'm going to quickly move my wrist back and forth to get that quick marker motion. If you let it sit too much, the marker is going to bleed out and it's kind of a waste of ink if you're not spreading it around. So I'm going to turn it again and finish. Just these short motions. I stop, twist. I just noticed this is a good method to get like even surfaces of the marker, because even when you can see that it overlaps, you can see the marker is bleeding into the other marker. So right here, I'm going to once again, now I know I'm going to put my flyer here that I have for Asian takeout. My water is a little red, but these are my next colors anyway, is red and blue. So I'm not too worried about it. What I'm going to do, yellow's not that strong of a color, so you can also kind of tell in the water, it's a bit orangey how yellow and red make orange. So you can also look at the water in case your tie-dye sheet wasn't exactly what you hoped it would be. So for the next one, we are going to, what's our first step? Folding it. Exactly, we are going to fold it once. Whoop. Then again, I'm going to have my corners meet. I'm going to fold it. It's easy if I just pinch the corners and I fold everything else out. I may have to straighten out a few sections that I want really straight. And again, corner to corner, fold. So I have folded it in half 3 times. So 1, 2, 3. I've folded it in half 3 times. Now, from what we learned of the other one, I'm going to pinch it up here, kind of like a Dorito. It does look a lot like a Dorito. So I'm going to take my Dorito fold, I just made that up, and I'm going to dip it into my water, which is really like dyed red at this point, and I'm going to hold it up. You can see the marker dripping off the coffee filter, and once again my marker lines have started to blend into each other, so I can't really see that as well anymore. So I'm going to dip it one more time, and I'm going to pinch. So again, I'm pinching and draining the water out of the coffee filter. Drain, 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 drain. So I'm making sure all the blue is getting to the center. I notice that it's still really dark up here, so there's still a lot of unused marker, and this isn't quite the shade I want it. So I'm going to once again dip it one last time, and this time get my fingers a little wet too, so the paper is completely underwater. Now I'm going to pinch out those parts that have a lot of marker in, and once again push it towards the center. Now I'm starting to get the color that I really want, which is, what does red and blue make? Purple. Purple is our secondary color we're going to learn about right now. And it happens when you mix two primary colors, them being red and blue. So you'll see that red and blue make purple. You want to be very gentle when you're unfolding these because they rip so easily. They are so thin. So I'm going to undo this, and it looks really transparent. Even when you guys are doing this at home, don't be thrown off by how transparent it gets, because it will dry differently. So when it dries, hopefully you get a little bit of that, you get a little bit of the structure back from, you know, when things are soaking with water, they tend to be a bit more flimsy. Now, my next one is one that is going to dye easily with this colored water. That is my yellow and blue mix. Now, I don't want to get any red in my yellow and blue, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to empty my water, and you guys go ahead and pause as well so that you can go dump this out and get new fresh water. Okay guys, as you can tell, I have brand new clean water so that my yellow and blue primary colors don't get mullied by the red that was left over. So I'm sure you guys know how to do it at this point, fold once. Here we go. This is folding it in half, like that, folding it in half. I'm going to fold it one more time. See? So if you use your imagination, you can see it unfolded. So we're going to unfold it. Let's see, half. Fold it one more time. See, if you use your imagination, you can see visually in your brain, this is 4 sections. So if I fold it in half one more time, do you think it's going to be 5 sections or 8 sections? Here, let's count. I'm going to unfold it and count my folded sections. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wow, so if I fold it in half, I get 2 sections. One more time is 4 sections. And if I fold it again, it's 8 sections. If you guys know how to count by 2s, you're noticing a pattern here. So 2, 4, 6, 8. I have 8 sections now right here. Just a little fun fact for you, a little fun math fact. I still like to call it the Dorito fold. So Dorito fold has 8 sections in it. I'm going to dip it slowly in the water and totally immerse it. My fingers are in the water just a little bit. I'm not sticking my whole hand in the water, guys. Just the tip of my fingers. And as you can see, that turned a really cool color. And I hope you guys can see this. I don't know if it's too clear, but my water immediately turned green. So we are deducing that, and again, the color is going to be at the center. So the secondary color is going to be at the center of the filter. We're deducing that my yellow and blue primary colors mixed together make what third secondary color? Yellow and blue make green. Exactly. We are making green. I really hope you guys are saying it out loud. Otherwise, I'm going to feel a little crazy. I have this, again, I'm going to open it up. I think it's really cool that I have my 8 sections right here. Boop, 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 boop. Delicately unfolding it. Making sure I'm not getting water everywhere, because even though I squeezed water out when I'm mixing my colors, it still drips a little bit off the edges. And again, it looks almost transparent. I can barely see the colors. But as you can see, I'll go ahead and go back over here. My ones that I set down, the ones that I set down are already starting to dry, and the color is showing up way more. So I'm excited to see. I really want to see what you guys make. I have here other designs you guys can do. So it doesn't have to be just after you do your secondary colors, after you make the secondary colors. Feel free to experiment. Why not? See what cool designs maybe you can do on the coffee filters. This is still blue and red, so it's still only using 2 primary colors. But if you guys want to get crazy, you can do 3 colors. What? Blue, red, and yellow. And again, I'm going to show my famous marker technique where I'm going back and forth quickly, just moving it around a little bit, back and forth quickly, moving it around a little bit. And there we have it. We have 3 colors. Now, I am really curious how this is going to look. But I'm going to leave it as a surprise for next time. Right now, I'm going to ask you guys, go ahead and take pictures of your work. I'm so curious what they're going to look like, and go ahead and send them to this email. You guys see that? This email right here. It's apenya@uplifteducation.org. So this is our Uplift email, and I really look forward to seeing what you guys send in. I'm really excited about that. But for our next project, because I'm going to tell you guys what we're going to need for next week. So next week I have you guys on Tuesday, I believe. So Tuesday of next week, look at the flyer. It'll have all the information you need on it. I'm going to ask you guys to actually do a little research. So if you guys don't know what that means, research is looking into the history of something. So I want to know about how glass is made. I'm going to look in documents, kind of like Googling it, but I'm sure there are all sorts of sources that you can look through. If you have maybe old books in your house, go ahead and look up the details on Central African necklaces. This is a hint of what we're going to do next week. I'm going to tell you what materials you guys need now. So you guys are going to need scissors. You are going to need a paper plate. Now, if you don't have a paper plate, you can still do the project with a piece of paper. Just cut into a circle like this with the center cut out, and and it can open and close like this. I know it kind of looks like a C, but it's naturally just laid down. So hopefully you have paper. If not, notebook paper. We're using the best we can. You can even use coffee filter. So if you have a lot left over from this project, the coffee filter can be used in our next project as well, but it just involves, you might have to ask your parents for help if you're my kindergartners, first grade. Second grade, I think you can handle it. We've done this before where you just fold it in half and you're gonna cut the center out. So I'm just going to take scissors and cut a half circle. If it's a little too hard, I'm sure your parent or guardian can help you. And just cutting it into a circle like this with the coffee filter paper. So there are lots of ways that we can use what's around us. If we don't have exactly what we need, we can always improvise. Being an artist is all about getting creative. So I can't wait to see how creative you guys got with the project. Please, please, please send me pictures through the email, and I will see you guys next week.